stress of our world can take a toll on our physical and emotional health. Here, in New York's Catskill Mountains, lies a luxurious place of healing called WION Wellness Center. The WION Wellness Center provides 500,000 square feet of natural methods to manage diabetes, hypertension, chronic pain, obesity, depression, anxiety, and other conditions. We use the traditions of centuries-old natural science from India, yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy in personalized programs that help you take charge of your own health. A minimum 5-day stay is recommended for best results. Book now at yo1.com.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
Ready to dive into your daily dose of news?
Bringing you what's trending in the West and all that's setting trends in the East.
And all of this served up with a side of insightful banter.
We don't just bring you the latest stories.
We bring you your talking points for the day.
And while you do that, from the busy streets of New York, I will provide you with deeper insights on the developments through the course of the day in the US.
And I will be here at the WION headquarters, getting you all the action from the universe of sport. All that you need to know about your favorite teams and players, right here.
The show that keeps you ahead of the global curve. A conversation you'd want to be a part of. A place where news becomes an engaging exchange.
We bring you stories that impact your present.
This is World DNA. Join the conversation.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
This is World of Africa. When WION World is One, I'm Eric Njoka. Calm is slowly creeping back to Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo. But the rebels, the M23 rebels, have vowed to advance to other cities in the east. They claim they are liberating the nation. And actually, the Rwandan President Paul Kagame, who has been accused of backing the rebels in an interview with a news international agency, says he is not aware of any Rwandan troops in the DRC. That aside, today we tell you how the war in the DRC affects something so dear to you. your phone. Welcome to the show. Goma is in a conflict-battered province of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And this may be linked to consumers' ravaging demand for smartphones because as the M23 expand their territory, mining has become a crucial source of income, paying for fighters and weapons. Here is our cover report this week.
Have you ever wondered how the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo could affect you? There's a good chance that inside your mobile phone is a minuscule amount of a metal that started its journey from the eastern DRC, where there is a war raging. It may even be directly connected to the M23 rebel group that made global headlines this week. The tantalum within your device weighs less than half of the average garden pea, but is essential for the efficient functioning of a smartphone and almost all other sophisticated electronic devices. The rare blue-gray lustrous metal can hold a high charge compared to its size while operating in a range of temperatures. This makes it an ideal material for tiny capacitors, which temporarily stores energy. It is also mined in Rwanda, Brazil, and Nigeria. But at least 40% and maybe more of the element's global supply comes from the DRC, and some of the key mining areas are now under the control of the M23. 4 days after taking over the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo's major hub of Goma, the M23 claimed cleaning up the town of what they termed unwarranted mercenaries, who were essentially foreign contractors from Europe.
No question of tribalism, no question of rejection of the other, until all refugees who have fled into countries, they return home in peace. So everyone must live in peace in Goma, Bukavu, Minembwe and Ituri. Everyone must live in peace. That is our mission.
There are two major stereotypes and cliches that often dominate in the media, that this is a resource war and an ethnic war. These stereotypes are rather simplistic, because here, of course, we find ourselves in a war, in a succession of wars and different conflicts over the last 30 years that have very deep historical roots in questions of citizenship and identity following colonial occupation and violence, but also many economic interests that go far beyond the mining issue.
Like scores of other armed groups operating in that area, the M23 began as an outfit defending the rights of an ethnic group perceived to be under threat. But as its territory expanded, mining became a crucial source of income, paying for fighters and weapons. Much of the east of the DRC has been blighted by conflict for many years, raising questions about who has been benefiting and if armed groups are profiting from what is being dug out of the ground there. In order to highlight the issue and its connection to the smartphone industry, the Congolese government filed criminal complaints in France and Belgium at the end of last year against subsidiaries of the tech giant Apple, accusing it of using conflict minerals. Apple disputed the allegation and pointed out that since early 2024, because of the escalating conflict and the difficulties of certification, it stopped sourcing tantalum, among other metals, both from the DRC and Rwanda. Other companies have not been so clear, which means that as the M23 seizes more territory, those small bits of tantalum from the mines that they control could still make their way into the devices that we have come to rely on. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.
Sudan's civil war has devastated the country and strained relations with neighboring South Sudan. Events in January 2025 have stirred up xenophobic feelings in Sudan and outrage in its southern neighbor, heightening the risk of regional instability. Early in the year, the Sudanese armed forces captured Wad Madani, a town in Sudan's central Al Jazeera state. The paramilitary Rapid Support Forces had seized control of the town at the start of Sudan's civil war in April 2023. This sparked outrage in South Sudan and also led to anti-Sudanese riots in the capital Juba and other cities on the 16th of January this year, resulting in fatalities, injuries and widespread looting. Here's the latest from Khartoum.
This is the aftermath of a strike by Sudan's paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF on a market in the city of Omdurman, which killed at least 54 people. Bodies were seen wrapped in white and black bags placed on the ground. People injured in the same attack were receiving treatment in a nearby hospital. The RSF in a statement denied targeting the market and instead accused the Sudanese army of launching attacks targeting civilians. Army and RSF have struck densely packed areas in a war that broke out in April 2023 over the integration of the two forces.
Keep on pushing forward and good will come to you, God willing. Don't pay attention to their advance on Alinka Street or Al Mauna Street or on the General Command. They will not enjoy the General Command for long, nor will they enjoy the Signal Corpine. I'm calling on you to think of what we're going to take control of. What we will take, not on what they have taken control of. No, what will we take? You have to push forward. You have to look ahead.
The conflict has killed tens of thousands of people, driven millions from their homes, and plunged half of the population into hunger. In the past few weeks, the army has stepped up its offensive in Omdurman, which lies across the River Nile from capital city Khartoum, aiming to regain complete control from the RSF.
The Sudanese people stand behind the army, and we are all witnessing now how the entire people is supporting us in this battle. This battle is nearing its end, and these rebels, Rapid Support Forces, shall cease to exist. We pledge to the Sudanese people that we'll keep fighting until we achieve this.
The Sudanese Doctors' Union appealed to nearby medics to assist at the hospital, saying there was an acute shortage of medical staff. It added that one shell had fallen meters away from the hospital. One survivor of the market attack told the AFP news agency the shells hit in the middle of the vegetable market. That's why the victims and the wounded are so many. Both sides have been accused of targeting civilians, including health workers, and indiscriminate shelling of residential areas.
Civilians in Sudan and eastern DRC must feel so powerless. Power seems gripped by those waging war around them. The government, our partners, we cannot simply will a ceasefire into being. But this is not a license for inaction. As with Gaza, it can take hundreds of days of diplomatic failure to reach even the most fragile of ceasefires.
The recent skirmishes have forced emergency response rooms to shut several health centers, affecting the provision of medical services to thousands of residents. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.
Benin has long vied with Mali for the title of Africa's largest cotton producer, exporting mostly raw fibers for processing abroad to countries like Bangladesh or China, the world's largest garment exporters. But it now wants to process more of its white gold locally to boost production and exports of 100% Beninois clothing. Here's a report.
50-year-old Matthias Azenudo and his fellow farmers are harvesting cotton fiber, which the government hopes will feed the country's nascent textile revolution. as Nudo is growing cotton for the past 16 years. He and other farmers in the West African country have benefited from a recent uptick in demand for cotton, with the government seeking to launch a Made in Benin clothing industry.
Benin is now the largest cotton producer in Africa, with a record production that reached 765,000 tons in 2021, and therefore all this production was exported raw to Bangladesh and other countries. And today in this area, we process this cotton, including 40,000 tons of cotton per year, into 3 integrated textile units where we change from fiber.
Benin has long vied with Mali for the title of Africa's largest cotton producer. It exports mostly raw fibers for processing abroad to countries like Bangladesh or China, the world's largest garment exporters. But it now wants to process more of its white gold locally to boost production and export of 100% Beninese clothing.
Here we have made the choice to use cotton already because we produce it and we had to value our own raw material. And secondly, the advantage of cotton compared to other fibers is already the comfort and use. When you wear this cotton, it's airy, it's good for the body, it's hypoallergenic, it makes people work locally, it sustains the economy, and it's available next door. It's not fabrics that have 3 months, 4 months, 8 months of life. At the end, it is as if they were taken just out of the chain.
Benin's current president, Patrice Talon, made his fortune from cotton in the 1990s and 2000s. It earned him the nickname the King of Cotton. Now, authorities are racing to consolidate the nation's lead under Talon's initiative.
There are a number of people who will be part of this dynamic and therefore find employment. There are direct jobs and indirect jobs. There is also the income that each of us can earn and what we can do with it. Also, as long as the sector is diversified, it will have related services that will grow around this sector, and it's clear that it will pull growth upwards.
Experts say Benin now processes a third of its cotton. In the short term, Beninese officials say they are aiming to process 50% of the cotton produced in Benin and export the remaining 50%. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.
The largest Hindu temple in the Southern Hemisphere was officially inaugurated in Johannesburg, South Africa, marking a historic moment for global Hindu community. The temple is expected to become a major religious and cultural hub. Our correspondent Kalden Ongmu visited the temple and spoke to some of the devotees there.
The BAPS Sri Swami Narayan Hindu Mandir and cultural complex stands as a beacon of unity, heritage and interfaith dialogue. BAPS is currently hosting 12-day festival of hope and unity, a grand celebration of art, culture and heritage that beautifully weaves together the deep-rooted connections between Indian and African traditions.
Spread on 14.5 acres, we believe this is the largest Hindu mandir and cultural complex in the Southern Hemisphere. It will be a place of worship, a place of contemplation, self-improvement, arts and culture through learning many art forms and languages. Also a place for intercultural dialogue, because South Africa is such a wonderfully diverse country where each appreciates the other's culture and thoughts. And very importantly, it will also become the Southern African headquarters of BAPS Charities, which is our outreach wing.
Constructed with thousands of tons of steel and concrete and powered by the dedication of hundreds of volunteers, BAPS temple of this nature was necessary in Johannesburg.
I think Johannesburg particularly is finding a lot of influx of Hindu people from other parts of the country for job and economic reasons. Therefore, to bring the entire community together, there was a need for something in this part of Johannesburg. There's also a very large expat community who is in South Africa for the medium and long term. who will also take much advantage of this facility.
Since its launch in the past weekend, thousands of visitors have already set foot at the temple.
I feel very proud that I got my culture, which I was in when I was in India. That culture I was missing now, but now because of this temple, now I think that the India came to here in South Africa, and yes, it's very proud moment, and I feel so good.
Now we got a spot. All the Hindu community and outsider can come on one place, and it can accommodate so many people. So that also, it's something special that we never had that experience before.
BAPS Hindu Mandir and cultural complex represent a significant investment by the Indian community in South Africa. With its official inauguration, it becomes a spiritual and cultural milestone for South Africa, inspiring generations to come.
Dedicated to promoting harmony and understanding, this complex will serve not just as a place for religious prayer meetings, but also as a hub for interfaith education and collaboration, fostering dialogue among South Africa's diverse communities. This is Kalden Omo from Johannesburg, South Africa, for WION World is One.
Now, some call it henna, others call it henna. But henna artistry has been recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage for 16 Arab countries. In Morocco, the tradition is used on many family occasions, including celebrating pregnancies. Here's a report.
Hajar has something important to celebrate, her 7th month of pregnancy. And in Morocco, there is no better way to mark such an occasion by getting traditional henna tattoos. Her hands and feet are covered in the designs, a connection to our heritage.
When we feel happy, we express it by doing henna. And for this reason, we ask the artist to come and organize a celebration day. We inherited this from our mothers and grandmothers. They always did henna on all occasions.
Mama Yakubi is the person people like Hajar call upon when they want henna. She's been a henna artist for 30 years. Yakubi prepares her materials from scratch, grinding the leaves into a powder in a traditional copper mortar. Water and sugar is added from a paste. She squeezes the mixture through a nylon stocking to get the perfect consistency for the job. Henna is used in Morocco on many cultural, religious and social occasions and is an essential part of festive rituals.
In the past, the demand for henna was greater. Women used to do it a lot and they used to attend special rituals for it. Women used to prepare the henna and the materials and things necessary for henna, and they used to invite their friends and they would all do henna. Now the methods of doing henna have developed. We used to use a coal stick to draw, but now we use a syringe, which is faster in working and allows us to finish in a short time, and this is what caused the rituals associated with henna to disappear.
In December last year, UNESCO recognized henna as an intangible heritage of humanity. 16 Arab countries were named in the citation, as well as Morocco, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Yemen, the State of Palestine, Jordan, Egypt, Sudan, Algeria, Tunisia and Mauritania were included in the henna listing. The aim is to protect this custom. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of World of Africa. You know the drill by now. Tell us what you would like us to show you on the show. Tell us your story. Reach out to us on all our social media platforms. And see you on the next show. I'm Eric Njoka.
Know more, understand better, think ahead. Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching Gravitas with me, Molly Gambhir. Get the facts, not the bombast. On the 26th of March, dynamic pricing, Baloch separatists, Gravitas cuts out the clutter. Gravitas keeps calm when others scream. Gravitas brings news to life. Weekdays, 9 p.m. IST, 3:30 p.m. GMT. Gravitas. Seeing is believing.
Ready to dive into your daily dose of news?
Bringing you what's trending in the West and all that's setting trends in the East.
And all of this served up with a side of insightful banter.
We don't just bring you the latest stories.
We bring you your talking points for the day.
And while you do that, from the busy streets of New York, I will provide you with deeper insights on the developments through the course of the day in the U.S.
And I will be here at the WION headquarters, getting you all the action from the universe of sport. All that you need to know about your favorite teams and players, right here.
The show that keeps you ahead of the global curve. A conversation you'd want to be a part of. A place where news becomes an engaging exchange.
We bring you stories that impact your present.
This is World DNA. Join the conversation.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
WION, India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION. World is one.
YO1 Health Resort is unique, the only one of its kind. Experience the 4 paths of natural wellness: yoga, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and naturopathy. Each uniquely customized program improves the whole person to make every person whole. Come to YO1 Health Resort. Make your reservation at yo1.com.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
Ready to dive into your daily dose of news?
Bringing you what's trending in the West and all that's setting trends in the East.
And all of this served up with a side of insightful banter.
We don't just bring you the latest stories.
We bring you your talking points for the day.
And while you do that, from the busy streets of New York, I will provide you with deeper insights on the developments through the course of the day in the U.S.
And I will be here at the WION headquarters, getting you all the action from the universe of sport. All that you need to know about your favorite teams and players, right here.
The show that keeps you ahead of the global curve. A conversation you'd want to be a part of. A place where news becomes an engaging exchange.
We bring you stories that impact your present.
This is World DNA. Join the conversation.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
Know more, understand better, think ahead. Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching Gravitas with me, Molly Gambhir. Get the facts, not the bombast. On the 26th of March, dynamic pricing, Baloch separatists, Gravitas cuts out the clutter. Gravitas keeps calm when others scream. Gravitas brings news to life. Weekdays, 9 p.m. IST, 3:30 p.m. GMT. Gravitas. Seeing is believing.
WION, India's global voice. The channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION, World is One. From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening. As we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
To bring the benefits of the Subhash Chandra Show to your educational institution, teachers and students, send an invitation to Juhi Jha at juhi@such.org.in.
The Earth is sending distress signals. Wildfires, droughts, and melting glaciers. Can we reverse the damage? Explore the harrowing effects of climate change. It's a wake-up call. Global emergency. Climate Tracker on WION World is One.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Race to Power. My name is Mohammed Saleh. And on the show today, we'll be taking a look as to what is happening in the United States of America, where Donald Trump has now put off imposing tariffs on Canada and Mexico after last-minute negotiations. But the question, of course, is how long will the U.S. neighbors remain on tenterhooks over threats of a tariff war? And how much can Donald Trump accomplish with his tariff diplomacy? And in India's capital, New Delhi, 15 million registered voters will be casting their votes to elect their next government in a tripartite contest between the Aam Aadmi Party, the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress. The question, of course, is who holds the edge to win